Take a look at that CCTV footage. The young girl you see working into the hotel with her friend is Kenneka Jenkins. And watch careful, this is the last time she will be seen on camera before she finally disappears.
This is the story of a girl who left her home laughing and was found hours later frozen and alone inside a hotel freezer. A story recorded on security cameras but never fully explained. A story where every answer exposes another question. A story where truth feels close but keeps slipping through the cracks. This is the haunting mystery of 19-year-old Kenneka Jenkins. Before her name filled headlines and hashtags, before the surveillance clips were analyzed frame by millions across the world, there was simply Kenneka, a 19-year-old girl from the west side of Chicago. Born in 1998, the second daughter of Teresa Martin, a mother who worked tirelessly to raise her children with warmth, discipline, and love. Friends described Kenneka as shy but joyful, a girl with a bright, unforgettable smile, someone who didn't start trouble, didn't seek drama, and preferred small gatherings over big crowds. She loved music. She loved doing hair. She loved spending time with her family, particularly her mother, who she saw not just as a parent, but as her closest confidant. She had dreams of becoming a nurse, dreams of helping people, dreams that were just beginning to take shape. But on September 8, 2017, those dreams would collide with a tragic sequence of events at the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Rosemont, Illinois, a place she had never been before and would never leave alive. And from the moment she stepped into that hotel, nothing would ever be the same. It was a Friday evening, warm, lively, ordinary, the kind of night young people across Chicago used to unwind and enjoy the weekend. Two of Kenneka's friends invited her to a small birthday gathering, nothing extravagant, just a hotel room where a handful of teens and young adults could hang out, listen to music, and celebrate. At first, Kenneka hesitated. According to her family, she wasn't the type to rush into party environments, but her friends reassured her it would be peaceful, controlled, nothing to worry about, and like any teenager hoping for a night of relief from routine, she agreed. They borrowed her mother's car, promising to return soon. They drove together toward the Crowne Plaza in the suburb of Rosemont, a 15-mile distance from home, but a world away from anything familiar. The party was held in room 926 on the 9th floor. People drifted in and out, music played, Snapchat videos were recorded. Nothing appeared alarming in the surface-level footage later shared online. In one clip, Kenneka sits on a bed, quiet, relaxed, not the center of attention, just present. But as the hours passed, something changed. Around 1:30 a.m., witnesses later reported that she appeared visibly intoxicated. She stumbled, her speech slurred. She leaned on walls and friends for stability. The party was winding down, people were leaving, but for Kenneka, the night was only beginning. Around 3 a.m., Kenneka's friends decided it was time to go. They walked her into the hallways. Videos would show her struggling to stand upright. The story told later by her friends was simple. They needed to return to the hotel room to grab some belongings, the car keys, a cell phone, and left her standing by herself for just a moment. But when they returned, she was gone. The hotel hallways were quiet, dimly lit, empty. Somewhere between the 9th floor and the lobby, Kenneka Jenkins disappeared from the sight of the people she trusted. It wouldn't be long before the cameras saw what humans didn't.
At 3:32 a.m., the Crowne Plaza surveillance system recorded a haunting sequence, one that would later be replayed millions of times around the world. There was Kenneka, walking uncertainly through the hotel's corridors. Her movements were slow, uncoordinated, as if her body no longer obeyed her mind. She bumped into walls. She staggered, catching herself on railings. She paused, swaying, struggling to maintain balance. She wasn't running. She wasn't panicked. She appeared disoriented, lost, weak, but she kept walking, down the halls, through double doors, into employee-only areas of the hotel. At one point, she wandered into a kitchen area, empty, abandoned for the night, fluorescent lights humming above stainless steel surfaces. The footage shows her walking deeper into the kitchen and then disappearing around a corner, out of the camera's view. It was the last confirmed moment of her life. By 4 a.m., Kenneka's friends were panicking. They couldn't find her. They called her mother, Teresa. Imagine being awakened in the middle of the night by the sound of fear in your daughter's friends' voices. Imagine hearing, "We can't find Kenneka." Teresa didn't hesitate. She got dressed, rushed out of the house, and drove straight to the hotel. When she arrived, she asked, pleaded for the staff to help search for her daughter. She begged for access to camera footage, but hotel staff followed protocol. They insisted the police had to be involved. They told her they couldn't just search rooms without proper authorization. They told her to wait. By 6 a.m., there was still no progress. By 7 a.m., her daughter had been missing for hours. Teresa's desperation grew. She roamed the hotel herself, knocking on doors, calling her daughter's name, trying to trigger a reaction from someone who might know something. But the hotel remained silent. It wouldn't be until nearly 8 hours after she disappeared that police would begin formally reviewing the footage. 8 hours while a mother stood helplessly in a lobby, begging for them to hurry. Once police gained access to the surveillance feeds, they followed the silent trail of images. Step by unsteady step, they pieced together Kenneka's movement through the building. They traced her from hallway to hallway, then into the restricted kitchen area. But the one camera that could have shown the freezer entrance, the final hallway leading directly to it, was not recording or had no footage. A gap, a missing piece, a moment erased from view. This unanswered blind spot ignited a storm of public speculation. Why did the cameras stop there? Why wasn't the freezer area fully monitored? Why was a disoriented young woman able to enter restricted spaces without anyone noticing? Meanwhile, officers conducted a physical search of the premises, especially focusing on the lower-level kitchens and storage rooms. And then, nearly a full day after Kenneka walked into the hotel, a hotel worker discovered her body. She was found inside a walk-in freezer, alone, cold, collapsed on the floor. Her shoes were still on. Her hair intact. No visible signs of a struggle. No evidence of assault. The scene was as quiet as a nightmare that left no footprints behind. It was 21 hours after she was first reported missing. Cook County Medical Examiner later released the official findings. Cause of death: hypothermia. The freezing temperatures caused a rapid decline in body functions until she could no longer move. The report also noted the presence of alcohol in her system and a medication, topiramate, commonly used for migraines or seizures, a drug her mother believed she was not prescribed. Combined with alcohol, topiramate can intensify disorientation, loss of balance, and confusion. These findings only deepened the questions. Was this simply a tragic accident or a preventable failure by those who should have protected her safety? As soon as the footage was released, the internet erupted. Millions watched every second. People began presenting theories, some logical, some speculative, some rooted in fear or misunderstanding. 3 major paths emerged. This theory aligns with the official findings. Keneke, impaired by alcohol and medication interactions, wandered into an unused kitchen and accidentally entered the freezer. Confused, weak, unable to push the heavy door open, she succumbed to the cold. This theory argues that hotel security and staff failed her. If they had responded sooner, if they had checked the footage earlier, if employees had secured restricted areas, could she have been found alive? Many people, especially her family, believed the delayed search was fatal. Though unproven and unsupported by physical evidence, many online observers speculated that someone at the party or someone in the hotel might have contributed to her death. Their reasoning stemmed from inconsistent stories from attendees, the missing surveillance angle near the freezer, the unusual layout of the kitchen, the difficulty of opening a commercial freezer door accidentally. But despite widespread speculation, no evidence of an assault, struggle, or homicide was ever identified by investigators. Still, unanswered questions kept the theory alive. The world finally saw the last moments leading to the freezer through a painstaking reconstruction using available footage. A young woman barely able to stand, wandering alone through metallic hallways, unaware that every step was carrying her farther from safety. Imagine her confusion, the cold metal beneath her hands, the echo of her footsteps in an empty kitchen, the numbness creeping through her limbs as she entered the freezer, perhaps seeking a corner to sit, to rest, to figure out where she was. Inside the freezer, temperatures were estimated to be below freezing, cold enough to rapidly disorient and paralyze. Hypothermia steals warmth first, then clarity, then movement, then consciousness, and finally everything else. She died in the silence of a place meant to store food, not human lives. The finality of that moment, its isolation, its terror, became the emotional peak of the case, a moment the world could not unseen. Teresa Martin refused to let her daughter's story be dismissed. She demanded accountability. She demanded transparency. She demanded to know why the hotel didn't act sooner, why her pleas were brushed aside, why it took so long to find her child. She led protests, held memorials, fought for surveillance reform, and challenged the public to look deeper into the systems that failed her daughter. Because while the official ruling was accident, the emotional truth for Teresa was simple: her daughter should still be alive. What really happened? Today, the freezer is empty, the kitchen is quiet. The hallways of the Crowne Plaza look just as they did that night, but the shadows feel heavier. What happened to Keneke Jenkins inside that hotel remains both documented and uncertain. The cameras show her final movements. The autopsy reveals how she died. But the critical question, the one that keeps people restless years later, still echoes: why was she there, alone, in that moment? Was it truly a tragic accident, or was it the result of delays, negligence, and unanswered warnings? The truth lies somewhere between evidence and emotion, between what we can prove and what we fear, between the footage that exists and the footage that never recorded. And until every question is answered, the story of Keneke Jenkins will remain suspended between clarity and mystery, a case officially closed but emotionally unresolved. What do you think really happened that night inside the Crowne Plaza Hotel? Do you believe the official story, or do you think there are still missing pieces waiting to be uncovered? Share your thoughts, your theories, and your perspective in the comments. Your voice adds to a conversation that has never truly ended.